Welcome to Shooting It Straight with Stan. I'm your host, Stan, the Annuity Man, America's annuity agent licensed in all 50 states. So glad you joined me. Today's topic comes from a client of mine. I was on a phone call with her today, and she said something that just, I said, stop talking. I got to write this down because most of my really good ideas for videos come from you. Because when I get on the phone with you, I'm using my mouth in proportion, and my ears in proportion, 2 ears, 1 mouth. I'm listening to you. And she was looking at MYGAs, multi-year guarantee annuities. And she said, well, if push comes to shove, I'll take the 10% out if needed. That's the reason I'm choosing this one, because it has that feature that you can take out 10% penalty free. I said, wait a minute. That's a good way to look at it. A push come to shove annuity. What is a push come to shove annuity? We all have heard this. Well, if push comes to shove, I'm going to do that. Well, if push comes to shove, I'm going to kick that guy's butt. Well, if push comes to shove, I guess I'll just leave that job and go to another job. Well, if push comes to shove with my MYGA, I want to have the ability to take money out penalty free. So let's talk about MYGAs. Multi-year guarantee annuity. Someone said, is a MYGA an annuity? The A stands for annuity, multi-year guarantee annuity. In the South, we call them fixed rate annuities. That's a fixed rate you're getting out there. It's that there. Yeah, you put your money in the thing, and an annuity company gives you a guaranteed interest rate. It's a fixed rate annuity. I don't want to talk about this MYGA. I lived in Charleston for a while. They talk like this in Charleston, like foghorn, leghorn. They're like, well, I don't really know what a MYGA is, but I do know what a CD is, and I do know what a fixed rate annuity is. That's the foghorn, leghorn, Charleston, South Carolina approach. But Jan, who is, I won't give away her last name, but she's a fantastic lady and just fun to talk to. And, when you get me on the call and you book a call with me, it's not going to be like, how are you doing? Tell me about you. No, it's going to be fun if you want it to be. But I do like people that sometimes answer the phone and go, hey. I mean, they set an appointment to talk with me like, hey. I'm like, really? Come on. It's better than that. Life is good, man. Glass half full. But with MYGAs, CDs, annuities, the annuity industry version of a CD, don't make it any more difficult than that. Everyone's like, well, at the end, do they make you annuitize it? No. You have full control over it. You can transfer it back to where it came from, or we can roll it to another one. Well, I mean, is there a trigger function where it triggers into something else? No, there's no trigger function. Is there a trigger function on your CD? No. With a CD, you give the bank or the brokerage firm money, and they give you a guaranteed interest rate for a specific period of time. With a multi-year guarantee annuity, you give the life insurance company who issues annuities a lump sum of money, and they guarantee an interest rate for a specific period of time. If you want to go to my site at the Annuity Man and look for free, 24/7, 365 at the best rates for your state, you can. But what Jan said was good, and I liked it. Push come to shove annuity. She said, hey, let's lock in this 3-year rate. I like this company, and they allow me to take out, I don't have to, but I can take out 10% penalty free on an annual basis. And then she said, and if push comes to shove, I'll just do that if I need that money. But I hope that doesn't happen. But Stan, if push comes to shove, I'm going to do that. So from here on in, guess what? Annuities that provide you the liquidity, either taking out interest or 5% or 10%, those are now called push comes to shove MYGAs, or push comes to shove fixed rate annuities, like they say in Charleston. I love Charleston. You ever been to Charleston? I mean, if you go on the East Coast, Charleston, Savannah, St. Augustine, some of the greatest port towns of all time, and some of the greatest food, if you like to eat, which I do, period. But I digress. So some multi-year guarantee annuities, CD annuities, fixed rate annuities, they do not allow you to take out interest. They're kind of lock and load. That's another one. That's when I lived in Wyoming for let's lock and load that one. Let's just lock and load. They're talking about guns. Okay. Lock and load. You're locking and loading so that the interest compounds, and you don't plan to touch it. But if you need a push comes to shove annuity with the feature of liquidity, not saying that you need it, okay, but it's there, push comes to shove to take it, then that would be what we would do. I'll give you an example. I was on the phone again with not Jan, because Jan's fantastic. I was on the phone with another person. They were fantastic too. And before I talked to Jan and got the push comes to shove, which we're trademarking Jan, and the royalty check is in the mail, promise you. They're like, we were looking at 5-year guarantees for their state, and all MIGAs and fixed rate annuities, CD annuities. Every state has a different list because they have to be approved at the state level. And we were looking at a 5-year multi-year guarantee annuity, and there were a lot of the same interest rate at the top with different carriers. Some did not allow you to take interest out, and some did. So I said to the gentleman, I said, well, I mean, because they're kind of the same, let's choose the one that gives you the ability to take interest out or money out penalty free, even though that's not the plan. Of course, he said, Stan, that is a fantastic idea. I can't believe you just came up with that on the fly. And I said, that's what I do. But seriously, it's a push comes to shove annuity. Jan, thank you so much. Because what I try to do out here as Stan, the Annuity Man, America's annuity agent licensed in all 50 states, married to the lovely Christine with 2 lovely daughters, Brielle and Brenna, who are no longer in the house, but I love them. That's what I try to do, is make annuities simple, make them understandable, strip out all the complexity. And I love the simplistic annuities. I always say, if you can't explain it to a 9-year-old, don't buy it. No offense to 9-year-olds. But now we have a new one. A push comes to shove MIGA. A push comes to shove fixed rate annuity. A push comes to shove annuity CD. Push comes to shove. It allows you to take money out if you need it, but you don't have to. But if push comes to shove, you can. My name is Stan, the Annuity Man. See you next time.